Have you ever wished for something that seemed to slip away the more you wanted it? Imagine this. You find yourself face to face with something you deeply desire, but the more you chase it, the farther away that dream seems to get. Have you ever experienced this situation? It feels cruel, almost a joke from fate, but what lies behind this feeling is a powerful truth that few know. The secret to attracting what you want is in letting go. Curious, isn't it? How can something you want so much come closer when you stop trying so desperately? This is something many people discover the hard way. When they detach from the need, the anxiety of obtaining it, the universe seems to open unexpected doors. Let me tell you a story. Once, a person spent months trying to land their dream job. Resumes sent, interviews conducted, and nothing. Only when they gave up and decided to pursue other paths did that job appear as if by magic. What changed? They changed. The energy of detachment opened a new path. Now, before I continue and reveal how this secret can transform your life, take a moment to subscribe to the channel and give a thumbs up. This way, you'll stay updated on all the techniques I'll share and ensure the algorithm keeps you informed. Let's move forward because the best is yet to come. The truth is that the law of attraction is much deeper than just thinking positively. I was skeptical at first too, but something changed in me when I began to understand what lay behind this. It's not about magic or mystical thinking, but a much more practical principle. When you emit the right energy, a balance between desire and detachment, things start to move around you. Think of it like tuning into a radio station. You only hear clearly when you find the exact frequency. Once I met someone who always complained about everything, about life, work, the people around them. Their energy was so dense that even when good opportunities arose, they couldn't see them. One day, they decided to change. They stopped lamenting and started to seek what they truly wanted, but in a light-hearted way, without pressure. Within weeks, their life began to transform, as if a curtain had been lifted. The frequency changed. Want to know how to change your frequency? Keep watching because by the end of this video, you will understand how to apply this truth practically. And of course, if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss anything. As impressive as it may seem, science is beginning to confirm what ancient sages already knew. Studies on the brain show that our thoughts have the power to shape the reality around us. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are visualizing your goal, whether it's a new career, a relationship, or a life change. While you do this, your brain begins to release substances that stimulate actions that will bring you closer to that objective. A study done at the University of California proved that optimistic people, those who focus on the positive but also take action, have up to 76% more chances of reaching exceptional levels of well-being. But attention, it's not just about thinking. One thing is clear, without action, there is no attraction. Jim Carrey, the famous actor, once wrote himself a check for $10 million many years before he had that amount in his account. He visualized that check every day, but he didn't just stop with that. He took action. And guess what? In 1995, he received exactly $10 million for his role in Dumb and Dumber. Science and experience are on our side. If you've already realized that you can change your reality, now it's time to act. And don't forget to like and share this video with those who also need to hear this. Once I was told, the more you cling, the more you sabotage yourself. At the time, I didn't understand, but soon life showed me the meaning behind that phrase. The story of a helium balloon illustrates this well. Imagine you're holding a balloon, eager for it to float. The harder you hold it, the more it feels trapped. But the moment you open your hand and let it go, it flies freely, reaching heights you could never force. This is detachment. It seems simple, but applying detachment requires trust. Trust that when you let go, life will guide you to the right place. I remember a time when I was fixated on a single goal. Everything I did revolved around achieving that. But curiously, only when I stopped fighting with so much intensity and released the idea did things start to happen naturally. It was as if my own obsession was blocking the way. Now I want you to do an exercise with me. Think about that desire you have, that dream that seems to be slipping away from you. Now, take a deep breath and visualize releasing that desire to the universe without anxiety. This doesn't mean giving up, but trusting Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, taught us a valuable lesson. What you resist persists. What you accept transforms. When we fight against something with all our strength, we create a barrier. Imagine a strong current. If you swim against it, the effort can be immense and exhausting. But if you learn to flow with the water, you'll soon see that the current will guide you with much less effort. Let me tell you a real story. A friend of mine was in a relationship that wasn't progressing. She insisted, trying in every way to change the situation, but it seemed that the more she fought, the further away she got from finding peace. Only when she stopped resisting and accepted that the relationship might not be what she envisioned did things start to change. In the end, she not only found peace, but also made space for a new person in her life, someone who truly matched her desires. True transformation happens when we stop fighting against what life presents us and start accepting the flow. If this made you think, take a moment to leave your comment and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Visualizing your dreams is like planting seeds. Every time you visualize clearly, it's like watering that plant, allowing it to grow. Olympic athletes, successful entrepreneurs, they all use visualization to achieve their goals. I'll share a technique that transformed my perspective on life. Whenever I want something, I first visualize it in all its details. Where I am, what I'm feeling, what the environment around me is like. But I don't stop there. The key is to truly feel what it would be like to have that desire already fulfilled. It's not enough to see the image. You have to experience the emotion, the smell, the sound of that moment. A study proved that the brain reacts identically when imagining a situation and when living it. This means that by visualizing, you start preparing your body and mind for success. So, take a second. Close your eyes. Imagine your ideal life right now. Feel yourself there. This is the power of visualization. The story of Jim Carrey is a classic example of the power of the law of attraction. When he was still an unknown actor, he did something surprising. He wrote himself a check for $10 million and kept it in his wallet. He visualized that check every day, imagining what his life would be like when he finally received it. Years later, Carrey was hired for a movie that paid exactly that amount. But the most interesting part of this story is not the value of the check, but the combination of visualization, detachment, and action. Carrey didn't sit around waiting for money to fall from the sky. He worked tirelessly, took bold actions, but at the same time, trusted the process. He didn't let fear or doubt paralyze him. That is the key that many miss. You need to act, trust, and let go at the same time. It's almost a paradox, but we are often attracted to people who seem distant or indifferent. Have you ever wondered why? The answer lies in detachment. When we do not desperately cling to someone, we project an energy of confidence and independence. This is incredibly attractive. It's like that person who lives their life intensely, focused on their own passions, who wouldn't want to be part of that. This dynamic repeats in relationships. The more we insist and fixate on someone, the more that person tends to pull away. But when we let go of the need for control and trust, connections flow naturally. I remember a friend who spent years trying to win someone over, without success. It was only when he decided to focus on himself and his own growth that this person finally recognized the value he had. So if you are experiencing something similar, remember, detachment is confidence, and confidence is attraction. If this reflection resonated with you, leave your comment and share your story. There's a reason we often manage to achieve something when we keep our focus steady. Neuroscientists have discovered that when we focus on a goal, we activate a part of the brain called the reticular activating system. This system helps us notice opportunities that we previously ignored. It's like when you buy a new car and suddenly start noticing the same model on every corner. It's always been there, but now your mind is alert. To turn dreams into reality, it is essential to cultivate this ability to focus. It's not just about thinking positively, but programming your brain to identify the paths that will take you there. A simple exercise that works is writing down your goals. The clearer they are, the more your brain will strive to find ways to achieve them. Imagine that your mind is a garden. Each thought you cultivate is a seed. and gratitude is the fertilizer that transforms the driest soil into fertile land. Science has already shown that gratitude is not just an emotion, but a true tool for transformation. When we express gratitude, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters of well-being, putting us in a mental state that attracts good things. I'll tell you the story of a woman who was on the brink of bankruptcy, but decided to start a gratitude journal, noting small things she was grateful for every day. Instead of focusing on her debts, she started to see opportunities. The change was impressive. Her financial life began to improve when she started attracting people and opportunities that had previously been invisible to her. If you think gratitude might be something too simple, try practicing it. Write down 3 things you are grateful for right now and see how it changes your energy. Did you know that practicing gratitude can physically change your brain? Studies conducted by the University of Indiana showed that people who keep a gratitude journal experience increased activity in the part of the brain linked to learning and decision-making. It's as if gratitude gives us a mental superpower to achieve our goals with more clarity and confidence. Once I met someone who suffered from constant anxiety. The doctor suggested that she start practicing gratitude as part of her treatment. Within a few months, she not only felt better but also began to make wiser decisions and move closer to her goals. Her brain was literally reprogrammed to identify and act on the opportunities that would lead her to success. Now, think about the last 24 hours. What moments can you feel gratitude for? Start with something simple, and soon you will see how this practice can transform your mental and emotional state. Have you heard the expression, fake it till you make it? Although it may seem superficial, it carries a deep truth. When we act as if we have already achieved what we desire, our brain starts to believe it, and consequently directs our actions to make that reality possible. The human mind is powerful, but it needs clear signals. Think of Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympic swimmer in history. He practiced visualization techniques, imagining not only his strokes but also the feeling of victory. He not only dreamed, he trained his mind to believe that he had already won. As a result, his actions in the physical world began to reflect that internal confidence. So, do an exercise. Now imagine what you want to achieve. What would this version of you, who has already succeeded, do differently? How would they behave? Starting today, begin to act this way and see how the universe responds. Did you like this idea? Leave your comment below and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Often when we are close to achieving something important, we face our biggest challenges. Have you noticed that? The universe has a peculiar way of testing us, almost as if it wants to ensure that we are truly prepared for what we are asking. Richard Branson, the famous entrepreneur, said that obstacles are disguised opportunities, and he was right. Let me tell you the story of Frida Kahlo. After a terrible accident that left her immobilized for months, she found in painting a way to transform her pain into art. What seemed to be the greatest obstacle of her life became the gateway to a brilliant career. Frida not only overcame her challenges, but transformed them into something beautiful and impactful. The next time you face an obstacle, don't see it as a barrier, but as a springboard for something greater. Frida Kahlo is an example of how adversity can become art. After a devastating accident at the age of 18, she remained bedridden, and during her recovery, she began to paint. The physical and emotional pain she felt was channeled into her art, resulting in some of the most iconic works of the 20th century. Frida's story reminds us that even in the darkest moments, there is space to create and grow. She used to say, "Feet, what do I need them for if I have wings to fly?" This phrase encapsulates the essence of the law of attraction. When we stop focusing on what we lack and start seeing what we have, the universe responds with infinite possibilities. Frida not only accepted her limitations, but used them as fuel for her creativity, becoming a legend. And now I ask you, what can you transform in your life from the difficulties you face? Holding on to resentment is like carrying a heavy stone all the time. It not only drains your energy, but also blocks the flow of good things in your life. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is the act of letting go of that stone and allowing yourself to move forward. But often, the hardest forgiveness to offer is to ourselves. I remember someone who spent years trapped in resentment for the wrong decisions they had made in the past. When they finally managed to forgive themselves, it was as if an invisible door opened. The path, once blocked, became clear. Forgiveness is liberating, and science shows that it improves our mental health, reduces stress, and increases our ability to manifest our desires. Do a little exercise now. Close your eyes and think of someone or yourself that you need to forgive. Feel the relief of releasing that weight. There will be times when it seems like nothing is going right. The obstacles seem insurmountable and the dream feels farther away. It is in those moments that faith and persistence become essential. Have you ever planted a seed and felt anxious for it to sprout? Without water and continuous care, it would have no chance to grow. In the same way, our dreams need time and dedication. Remember Thomas Edison, the inventor who failed thousands of times before he was able to create the light bulb. Each failure was a step towards success. Persistence was what kept Edison on the right path. He didn't see mistakes as failures, but as an essential part of the process. So if today things seem difficult, remember, you are closer than you think. Don't give up now. When you share your goals with many people, you end up releasing the energy needed to realize them. This happens because by talking about your plans, your brain already experiences a small sense of achievement, reducing the urge to act. Have you ever seen someone say they're going to do something great but never get there? That's exactly what happens. Once, I decided to keep a goal completely secret. I didn't tell anyone, I just acted. The result? I achieved my goal much faster and more efficiently than when I usually tell everyone. That's the power of maintaining internal focus. So, if you have an important dream, keep it with you until it becomes reality. Now that we have explored all these concepts, it's time to integrate them into your daily life. The law of attraction is not magic. It is a continuous process of aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Every day, you plant seeds, whether through gratitude, visualization, or the small decisions you make. And the more you cultivate this internal garden, the more your dreams will bloom. To start, choose a moment in your day to practice visualization or write down your goals. Believe me, this daily practice is what differentiates those who manifest their desires from those who merely dream. The more you integrate these practices into your routine, the more natural it will become to attract what you desire. If you've made it this far, congratulations, you are on the right path. Write in the comments, "I am a manifester." So I know you reached the end of this journey with me. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell. The universe is on your side. Now it's your turn to act.